There we go. Well,
That was smooth.
yeah, that was actually smoother. It's getting smoother
Yeah.
once again.
Well, it's
Been a
not because of you.
couple of weeks in a row, we're just like, not quite there. But I think we're getting our chops back.
It's coming up. We're doing all right.
Yeah. We're on a half hour early today
Yeah. Well, that's because we're
because
ready.
I'm hungover.
Yeah, you think? I think all of us are a little bit broken. Our guest is definitely broke. He's been killing himself.
I know. That's why we're going up. We're going to try to get this up and at it. And
I'm going to bed.
me too. I am thrashed. I'm thrashed. But first of all, you know what you should do? I'm Gizz Lazlo.
I'm just Paul.
And welcome to another episode, number 13. Lucky 13.
13 season 2.
Yep.
I can't
13th
right
show
now.
this season, man. How was your week?
Oh, it's been good, man. It's been really, really busy. Been waiting for information, trying to make money, pay bills. Getting ready for your birthday, which was fucking awesome.
I had a blast.
By the way.
I had a blast through a 3-day bender.
Yeah. I convinced 110 people to sing happy birthday to you live.
Yeah, that was
at the
weird.
Carbon Bowl.
That
Yeah,
was weird.
I was hoping so.
It was weird having 6 candles on a cake and only 3 were lit.
Well, 3 were lit and you're 54. I had no idea what was going on.
How that worked out. Nah. Yesterday, my lady bought me a cake, and it was a Dodger cake. And on the drive to the restaurant, I looked at it and I was like, 54. Who the fuck is 54? Because it was a Dodgers, cake. And I was like, 50. I don't even know who number 54 in the Dodgers is. And then we park and I go, oh, I'm 54.
Yeah, you're an old man.
Oh, but it was a long weekend. Thanks for coming out on.
Dude, Friday was
we
awesome.
hung out Friday night.
We hung out Friday night with
Got tattooed.
Danielle at the tattoo room.
Yeah.
By the way, if I can go to the tattoo room and get some ink.
Yeah.
Danielle's awesome. This was Papa sponsors.
And then when Samantha, we hung out with her too.
Oh,
yeah. We got Headline Records, Transplants Brewing, MEOWZ, and Riot Manufacturing. Our website should be up in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Again,
Ours?
I've been trying to, work on it, but
up.
my computer went down, so gotta wait till I get that.
You killed your computer.
Yeah, well, but be sure to like,
subscribe, do all the weird
comment, share.
Yeah, no, this is the shape we're in, reading shit off a poster.
Oh man, I'm not well. A couple 3 birthdays that I want to give shout outs to. Donat Kazarnoff, who was the original bass player for 99 Pound Gorilla, John Baker's band. Dan Dementia from Dementia 13 and Screw Tape out in Australia. And next Sunday is Mike Williamson from Junior Juggernaut's birthday.
Oh my God, can we spank him? I actually was listening to Junior Juggernaut today. They're fucking so goddamn good.
So we got all the stuff out of the way. Tell me about our guest.
Today's guest is a gentleman by the name of Kerry Brown. He's a Chicago kid. He's I think 114. He's been in and around the music industry since like the late 70s, basically. And like some bigger name acts that I'll let him bounce that off of.
I know.
But he's kind of a music savant. He's got a record label called Licorice Pizza, and that record press is in this building. And so if you need vinyl printed, pressed, not printed.
Pressed, yeah.
Yeah, pressed. And it's the old school kind of machine. So let's
Nice.
bring him in. He can tell us all about it.
Yeah.
Come on in, bud.
I love it. It's like the numerology talking numbers episode. 13 is my favorite number.
Get in here, Garth.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Kerry Brown.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just to start off, let's go back a ways. When did music become a thing for you? And what was that like? And what inspired you to go that direction?
Well, I was born in Pasadena,
Oh,
SoCal. I moved to Chicago in the 80s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I got the.
Already getting information wrong here.
Yeah, no, but
It's our
my
job.
life, it was like a rebirth when I moved to Chicago. That's when everything happened.
Yeah.
But I actually made the decision to go to Chicago. I was in a band called Vagabond Soul, and we were opening for Channel 3 and Social Distortion, the Whiskey.
No shit.
It must have been 1985.
Right on.
And I don't know. I
You
was
were
like,
playing drums in that.
yeah.
So
It was a cool band.
what led you to drums?
My dad was a drummer, and I he used to talk about drumming all the time, but I never saw him drum. You know, he became like a sales guy. Yeah, back when I played the drums, you know, you had to know how to read music. It was like that. Yeah. He was like a union jazz drummer.
Oh, wow.
That would get like the call and be like, be at the place tonight at 4, and you're on stage and your sight read, you know the songs.
Yeah.
Because of the world you're in jazz, but you have to sight read that, you know, and everybody's reading the music and you go play it. So in his world, he was right. But I never took a drum lesson ever. You know what I mean? But he bought me a drum kit, like, or whatever. Santa Claus got me a drum kit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you remember what kind of kit?
It was like this little, like, it was kind of cool. Like, it was small. It was like a toy, but it worked. It was, you know, it was solid for. They bought it at a toy store, not a music store, probably. You know, like that. But it was like the top end one. But when you hit the kick drum, and it was like kind of psychedelic looking 60s kind of flowery, you know.
Wow.
And but you hit the kick drum and it had a light that would go off. It was like cool like that.
Yeah.
It was like, and then he bought my Santa Claus got my brother a bass a couple years later, and then we ended up actually playing in a band together with Jerome Brown from this place.
We call him
a band called Catherine.
We call him the Fifth Pumpkin.
But by then I had moved to Chicago.
Yeah.
It was like the second life. But I loved growing up Orange County, you know, the Cuckoo's Nest. I lived at the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
I saw so many shows there. I saw, you know, great Adolescent, Circle Jerks, Fear, Dead Kennedys. I mean, everybody, you know, 45 Grave, Vox.
Oh, yeah.
I never saw the Germs. I wish I fucking would have seen the Germs. I never saw the Germs.
At all.
I never saw the Germs play. I saw 45 Grave and Vox Spot with Don, but I never saw a Germ show.
How many shows did the Germs actually play? I mean, it was like a handful,
you know,
right?
Like, it was kind of a moment in time, a very short period of time.
Yeah.
But Don Bowles I've done a lot with him, the drummer.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Belinda was the first drummer.
Really?
From the Go-Go's.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
That is
She
true.
was the OG
Yeah.
Germs drummer.
Yeah, that is true.
Which is kind of fucking wild if you think about how big the Go-Go's became.
Yeah,
The number
with her own
one
vocals,
band, you
yeah.
know? Like
2
they were
years.
like fat. I mean, you know, I mean, I remember them like buzzing and then huge.
Yeah.
You know, like
It was
it was
one of
like,
those
oh yeah,
things.
like you go see them at like a local gig, but all of a sudden it was like, it just was like, radio was powerful then. You know what I mean, right? It was like
I
heavy
think
rotation
radio. I think radio's
that-
still important today.
Yeah, but it was super.
Yeah,
it was
back
the
then.
only way to break.
And that was
Now you got
MTV
streaming
as
shit and all
well.
that, and ads and social media. But then it was like, if you didn't get radio, you didn't make it.
Yeah.
That was it.
And
And there was only so many, you know.
And then the 90s, that radio kind of
Yeah.
went out, and
Well,
it became
MTV
about the
was
video.
MTV was the king.
Yeah.
Radio killed the radio star.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that shit. When that blew up, it blew up big. Cause MTV.
Like, what's your earliest memory of music as an inspiration to sound a certain way?
Wow. I think it was like, for me, it was weird. It's like we had my uncle, my dad's younger brother. He went to UCLA. He was like artist, and he made this thing. It was called a light box, and it was like square, and it had like different colored squares, and he could make it react to
Really?
sound, yeah. And or you'd put it on just a random pattern. You had a choice. You know, you could just have, I don't know, some kind of, I don't know how he did it, but some kind of random triggering of the lights, you know, and you could set the tempo. And I would play drums to that when I was a kid.
Shit.
I see it still to this day. And I think it is, I don't have that thing that people like hear music and see colors, but I super relate to that.
I think synesthesia.
Yeah, synesthesia.
Synesthesia, that's the one. Yeah.
Where I guess, you know, if you literally hear every note as a color that you see, and the people that have it, like they know if a song's working based on the colors,
Right.
Wow.
and the music. But like, I know that looks bad. It won't.
That's some psychedelic shit,
Right?
there.
Like,
Yeah.
and they don't even know that everybody doesn't have it until
Yeah.
later, and then they figure out that, oh, maybe I'm different like that. I seems like it would be amazing.
Yeah.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is.
That's the wrong hue of
It
blue
is.
right there.
Yeah.
Well, no, like
You need a
pastels,
tune, bro.
pastels and primaries, like
Yeah.
how the colors line up.
Yeah.
I have a bit of that. Like I can sort of like feel that sound as a, like, okay, you can't put brown and this together, or you can't put this and this
No, I
together.
know. Oh shit! Right?
The way
It's- yeah.
that I, play music, especially as a drummer, is you feel like, okay, this is the right tempo.
Yeah.
These are the right chords being played. If somebody like for me as a drummer, I don't know anything about guitars, so
Yep.
but I can tell when somebody's out of tune.
Yep.
Or they're just playing the wrong note, or their fingers are just.
You make a
like-
face almost like,
You're like,
hey.
Oh, I've
bro.
seen him.
Yeah,
I've seen him
yeah.
do it. It's like, oh, somebody made a mistake and I
Yeah.
didn't hear it.
I did it on Saturday to the guys from Fozzy when I went up to sing a song with them. One
I
of the
saw
guitar
that.
players hit the wrong hit the wrong note, just barely, But I looked at him, and the drummer, he missed the snare, and I just looked at him. He's like, out of everybody that I didn't want to notice that, you noticed it.
I
But
remember when I make this face, I can't help it. Like when it's fucking the bad guitar chord, I'm like, bad solo note. I'm like, I can't help it. I'm in the studio.
You flinch.
I'm in the studio producing Billy Corgan, and he's smoking the solo, and he's watching me. He's like smoking, and he fucking hits a bad chord note, and I just make the face. He's like, fuck! Don't ever make that face again. And I'm like, what face? And he goes, your fucking guitar face. I know it was bad.
But you're
I
looking
don't
up
need to
at
see
him.
it in your face.
But you have
I
to
couldn't
look up at him,
control
right?
it.
Like, hey, Billy. So what got you to move to Chicago? Like, what was that about?
It was weird. I was going through some stuff. I think it was probably just going
Billy Corden.
no, before
After you
before
kept making faces.
Corgan, before I met Billy, when I was trying to do it here in music, it never it always seemed like I was playing the band that I love, but nothing was happening with that style of music. Like whatever, we were post punk when everybody was like metal or whatever it is. Like those things. Like I didn't know how I was going to make a living out of it. And it kind of got to the point where I'm like, well, we're paying to play or whatever, remember you had to buy
Everybody
the tickets
did.
and all that shit.
I remember when it was
Gazzari-
happening. I just
Gazzaris and
never
that
did it.
shit.
Yeah.
Gazzaris, you'd have to
Fucking
go there
whiskey.
and you meet with them and they'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, you got to buy 100 tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
$300.
And then once you sell those, then we split the money. You never saw the fun.
No.
It was like so you're like losing money to play,
Mhm.
and I was like, fuck. Like I'm not living at home. I fucking ran away from home when I was 15. So I was like, I got to find a way to do my art. And so I'm like, I'm going to go be a painter. Like I used to paint a lot as a hobby. So I made portfolio and got accepted to School of the Art Institute of Chicago. I just I'm going to make a life fucking change. And I fucking totally did it. I got the suit, the beret,
Oh,
the fucking
I can see
the
this.
portfolio. I was I became that. I was like, done with it. I
The
was fucking done
beret.
with
Wow.
music. I'm totally gonna change my identity and move to Chicago, and I did. And the suit was fucking stupid looking. It was kind of funny. It was like Elvis Costello type suit, and I was just changing the punk in me. I was gonna go be a bit like a painter and get gallery shows and stuff.
How'd that
So I
work
go to
out?
Chicago. Well, then it turns out I take all these painting classes, right? And I'm painting all day, and I'm like, this is so fucking boring. I'm like, I can't fucking be a painter. What the fuck did I do?
Do you have any paintings? I
figure
want one.
painting. You couldn't take all figure painting courses. They wouldn't let you. So it was this is boring. I liked it as a hobby. I didn't like it as a career.
Yeah.
So I kind of made my way to the basement where they had music studio and analog video synthesizers and EMU analog synthesizers, wall, and tape machines and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I love what I loved about playing music in LA. We're making the demos, going into the studio. I love being in the studio.
Yeah. Oh,
the
yeah.
gear and seeing how things work. And equal to that of playing. I liked it. So I realized that. I'm like, I want the gear. I got the gear. So I started checking it out overnight. No one wanted the overnight. I just midnight to like 6 a.m. I just book it out. And I go to clubs and I see the bands I liked. I go up, do you guys have a demo? They and like, I want to make your demo. We didn't have any money. I'm like, $50. And like, well, $50 we got. So then I have them come in. I use the school and start recording their demos.
Nice.
And they'd be like, fuck, this sounds pretty good. Right? And I'd take the 50. I saved all that money, started buying gear. And then all of a sudden one day I had a recording studio, you know?
So what were some of those
And then I started
bands?
doing, that was like the Smashing Pumpkins and the band I was in, Catherine.
Right.
Everybody, a lot of bands. It
That
was pretty much,
This
I
is like
worked
late
with just
80s?
about everybody. I didn't work with like Liz
Local
Fair,
Age, Screeching
but-
Weasel,
it was like even before Local Age.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They were kind of the next pop.
What was the biggest demo you recorded?
Well, these demos that ended up being on the Pisces Iscariot, Smashing Pumpkins record,
Right.
those are all, most of those songs are demos that didn't make it on Siamese Dream.
Oh.
And it came out after Siamese Dream and it sold millions.
It was huge. It's a
Great
great album.
copies, you know. It had that cover of Landslide that went
Uh-huh.
really big, and Starla, the song I produced, epic in length. And it's a cool sounding record, you know.
It is really good.
That was like, we did those demos in like a day, you know. And then I ended up marrying the bass player.
Oh.
Darcy and I got married, and it was a whole crazy night. The 90s were wild for me.
I could only
I
imagine.
I wouldn't change a thing, but fuck, I wouldn't do it again. You know what I mean? Like, it's perfect the way it was as a
You're like,
memory.
Yeah.
Let's say that
I don't want to
was
relive
But
it.
it's not a way of life.
We're gonna leave that right there. I can only imagine the amount of superstar crazy stupid party shit you guys were doing.
It was crazy. I mean, it literally went from like, how are we going to pay rent in a garden apartment?
Right.
Like $300 a month. Like, fuck, you know, it's not easy to make money in a recording studio,
No.
especially when you're not like a pro recording studio, you know, we're like mid-level,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, so no one's going to go make a record there. But if you hit it with demos and it worked and had sound, which it did, and some of those went really big. You know?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
then the bands blew up at the same time. It was crazy. Like, I remember going out. There was a point when it was like me and one other guy, this guy Bob English, who was like Billy's guitar tech, that was like the Zigzag Man. He fucking was the Zigzag Man. He looked exactly like the Zigzag Man. He would roll joints really fast, like, you know, he's always hand-rolling. And like, he made a guitar out of fucking cork.
Oh my god.
I'm like, what'd you do, dude? He's like, I just wanted to try it.
That had to sound
It sounded horrible. It was a beautiful guitar made of cork.
Oh,
It was like,
don't try this at home, kids.
It like could have worked on a new wave record or something.
Maybe.
Like muted everything. You know? But it was like me and him were like the crew of the Smashing Pumpkins. Like, to like, it just kept going rapidly big, you know. Like, MTV was a big part of that.
Yeah.
So Pumpkins did their 10-inch EP. I don't remember what that was called. That was on Caroline. And then Gish, they got that on MTV. And then Siamese Dream went,
Yeah, yeah.
and that was that.
Yeah. I mean, Gizz was, you know, it was Butch Vig. He did Gish. He
Who
did
didn't
Siamese
do?
Dream. He did Nevermind.
Yeah.
All around
So we
the
had,
same time.
the-
It was just fuck going off.
We
You know?
had Dan Reed from Overwhelming Color Fast in, and that was
Yeah.
the album that Butch did right before Nirvana. And he kind of like dropped the ball a little bit to be on Nirvana.
Yeah. Well, I mean, man, that guy's taught me a lot, Butch, though.
Yeah.
Like, we're still besties, you know? Like, we'll just talk gear sometimes. But
Oh, no shit.
that process of being there when he was producing Simon's Dream, and it was like, you knew.
It was magic.
I had this fucking funny story. So we're I just remember, like, we're doing it, and the record's being recorded in Marietta, Georgia. It's like outside of Atlanta. Long reason. It was like, wanted to get away from distractions at home. So everybody's there. And I would drive in with Butch every day early, get everything set up, and just kind of just watch it, you know. And it was like a great way I could be with my wife at the time, you know. So it worked out great. and I would just watch them work and just learn. And one day we're driving in. I remember it was like they called it the storm of the century. It was like 1 inch of snow. But they don't have a snow. They have one snowplow for the entire city, and everything shut down. You know, and we're just cruising. He's from like fucking like Wisconsin, like
there is
fucking
true
yeah,
fucking
Just
snow.
stop saying for 3
So
months.
we're just drive in. It's like when we see like grocery like trucks just over the side of the road, like people out, and like just cars abandoned. We're like we're driving in. We're listening. Listening to the radio, it's all radio, and then Radiohead's Creep, we hear it for the first time on radio. And it's like, you know, when the guitar kicks in, it's just like so fucking loud. And we just stop and listen to the whole song. And he looks at me, he's like, do you think that was a mistake? No, it can't be a mistake. It's on the fucking radio. Like he goes, we're gonna have to turn the guitars up on this record.
No shit.
Yeah. But everything was up on that record, you know?
Yeah.
Like it was just on fire, that record. It was just like capturing a moment. He was good at that.
Yeah.
You know, and making it sound like produced enough to get into on the radio.
Yeah.
You know,
He was.
some version
He
of
was
radio.
that.
Yeah.
I mean,
He was
still
the
is.
sound.
He still
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
He still has that ear for it. It's
I know.
amazing that like that was what influenced that moment.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. He used to this band Killdozer. Right.
Killdozer.
It was
Yeah.
all Killdozer. He loved Killdozer. He's like, I remember he was like, one time he's talking to me, he's like, and his career was just blowing up. And he's like, man, I got to go do this other record. And then this and Garbage is taking off. And he's like, you know, I got this band, Killdozer. It's like, maybe, and I'm like, and then my band got signed. But he was going to be like, maybe you could start doing Killdozer, you know, because it all came from Killdozer's drums.
okay.
Kurt loved Killdozer drums. Billy, everybody loved the drum sound from
Mm-hmm.
Killdozer. Like Kurt was like, I want Nirvana's drum sound like that,
No.
like Killdozer. There's a weird documentary that we all made. It's about Butch's studio. I produced it with Butch. It's called The Smart Studio Story. You guys should watch it.
Absolutely.
It's out there, you know,
Somewhere.
whatever, Apple or one of those. It's street. You can stream it or YouTube, I think.
Write
now.
that down because I forget stuff.
Yeah, the Smart Studio Story. And there's a whole like Corrigan's in it, Dave Grohl's in it. We're all talking about that. And everybody they took every time that someone said, and they filmed so many people, right? Everybody, Death Cab for Cutie guys, and it was wild. And Killdozer he didn't just talk to me about Killdozer. He talked to fucking everybody about Killdozer. Because they cut together every time everyone being interviewed said Killdozer. And they cut it together. It was 137 of them.
Oh my God.
And it's just insane. Like it's just Killdozer. Yeah.
I mean, if you say that 3 times in the mirror, what happens?
Right. You turn into Butch Vig.
Okay.
Killdozer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that career at all.
Yeah.
I got a hit.
Drums are amazing because if you get a killer drum sound, the album is going to sound great.
Yeah, right.
But if you get a great guitar tone and the drums are shit,
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's ruined.
I think that's
Especially a snare drum like Metallica.
Yeah, right.
You know, that one, what was Saint Anger, where it sounded like a basketball in a gymnasium.
Yeah.
Dunk, dunk, dunk. Like, oh.
I think one of the,
Yeah.
the
Horrible.
premier examples of that would be what is it? Shit, like the Clash song, "Straight to Hell." Is it "Straight to Hell" or?
I'm not a Clash fan.
No.
No.
I mean the drums.
I love listening to
Stronger
them, but
fan,
it's
yeah.
not a
the
band that
drum.
I'll
The
put
drums
on.
in that song actually play out the melody, and they're kind of the lead
Yeah.
instrument in it.
Hmm.
I think it's "Straight to Hell." Yeah, it's "Straight to Hell." It's a really interesting listen when you're like just going, okay, what are the drums doing? And it starts to play out that like lead melody and pushes stuff.
So I got a crazy Clash story. It's not. It's about a live show.
Hmm.
We used to go. I don't know about you guys, but we used to just go to shows with no money. I never had money, and we'd just find a way to get in. Did that happen?
Oh yeah,
Did
Back
you
in
live-
the
oh, yeah.
80s.
I mean, if you
yeah.
weren't like getting in because you were playing
Yeah.
in the 80s,
Yeah.
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 It got harder as we got older.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
You're not even supposed to be here.
They got laser
Is your
lights
kid
out.
in there?
They just tase you.
my daughter's inside.
But somehow
isn't?
we just go to these shows.
Yeah.
And so it's like security was different or something,
Yeah.
right? So the Clash are opening for the Who, one of their many farewell tours.
Yeah.
I can't remember which
300
one. Keith Moon was already gone. It was like, but the Clash, the Who, at the Coliseum, and we're just like living in Orange County. Like, all right, let's go. We just go early. We're gonna get in.
Yeah.
We fucking go, and we just drive up, and there's a white fucking van, like a 15-passenger van, and the fucking Clash are getting out of it, and they have some miscellaneous stuff like
Guitars.
their guitars, maybe the kick drum pedal and stuff, right? But like the rest of it was up there, and we literally were just parked. I don't even know how we got there, and we walked up, and we're like, "Hey, can we give you guys a hand?" They're like, "Sure, kid, carry this." I fucking walked on fucking backstage, on the fucking stage with the Clash, and we stayed the entire show. Everyone thought we were part of the Clash. They gave us stuff, and it was that moment. I'm like, music is my life.
Dude.
I got to do music. I remember that as a kid, you know.
How old do you think you were? 15, 16?
Fuck, man, it was with my friend Dave Thomas. He what was I, 16 maybe? You know,
Dude, that's insane.
17. It was like a dream movie scene or something, you know, like but it was the power of that, you know.
That happened to me with Cinderella.
When you felt
Why?
We were
Fucking
Ybor City
or the cartoon.
No, the band.
The cartoon.
We were in Ybor City, Florida, and my band, Dead Lazlo's place, had played, and across the street there was, like a theater, and Cinderella was playing. So I walked over there, and I was smoking a cigarette, talking to the band's crew,
Right.
and the security came out. He goes, "You guys going in or you staying out?" I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go in." And I went in, and I became a fan that night. I was like, "Man, this guy, Tom Kiefer, man, that guy, he sounds almost like Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, he has that little bit of grit, that rock and roll. That they had already. This was in the mid-'90s, so they weren't like dressed up like all glam anymore. They had the denim kind of look, or rock and roll look. But I actually really enjoyed them that night. I was like, this is not bad. Like it's not one of those bands that you can look at the record and go, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah.
It's a band that you can just go, "Okay, this is cool."
Right.
Put the headphones on and like, this is some good tunes.
There's that moment I'm sure a lot of the guys wish they could undo.
Yeah.
That specific look.
Oh yeah.
What happened to the, and some of the music's fucking great. It's actually great songs and stuff.
Yeah.
But the look got him in the when that went out of style.
That was it.
You were like kicked to the curb.
Yeah.
It was like,
Nirvana and Pearl
whole,
Jam were the bands that kicked that.
I remember getting in. I literally got in this Uber. I was here. I must have taken. I just didn't want to drive, or so it was something with like taking Uber. It was no parking. I hop in, and the guy's like the drummer. Like he's got his drumsticks mounted on the dash like this, like and he's got like pictures, and it's obviously he's like a hair metal band dude that like is not driving the Uber. Like
but he's holding on.
He had a moment, and then he's like, but he's shown it.
Yeah.
And I get in, and he's like, "Hey, what do you?" He's like, "You played?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a drummer." Like, oh yeah, like what kind of music you play? I'm like, well, like alternative rock. Fuck alternative rock. Like, it was like he totally schools me. Yeah, but
No
he totally
shit.
schools me and fucking shoots me down. You
That's
fucking
great.
destroyed me. Your movement.
Yeah.
Movement.
I've heard that from a lot.
I ended up with a negative. You can get a negative review as an Uber user.
Yeah.
Really?
And he gave me a fucking 1 star.
No shit.
So I was rude.
Because of the music.
You ruined his
I
career.
had no idea that
pretty much
they could rate you. And I'm like, why did I get a negative rating? And I look,
Oh,
it was the
that
guy.
dude.
Oh, that fucking guy.
It was that drummer. It was that drummer.
You took it hard.
Christ.
I'm gonna cancel this dude.
And I have met, several, the 90s
Yeah. Oh,
guys,
yeah.
there's some that are, like, hey man, I had my moment and I'm good with it. And some that are like,
They're angry.
yeah, you guys know Bill Burr?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
one of his new skits he did it and he's like, man, I'm still not over, like, I fucking hate Eddie Vedder, man. He fucking thrashed my 80s hair metal, like, I used to love that shit, and all of a sudden Nirvana, and then I was like, okay, this is all right, and then Pearl Jam came on the scene. I was like, okay, this is too many. Like, this is gonna knock all my bands out of the fucking,
What?
the Headbangers Ball.
I think it's funny though, the ones that are still really successful in both of those bands. Now they're all dads at the same fucking school, and they hang out together, and they play in bands together. Like, you're like, wait, how could the guy from Nirvana be playing with the Guns N' Roses guy? That's not supposed to happen. Or whatever. They used to go at it, right? Now they're all the kids and like fucking.
That's the other F word.
We all went through the same thing.
Yeah.
There's every movement has the movement that kicks it out.
Yeah. Well,
somehow fucking Duran was able to do it.
And
ever.
Like,
but they're like the only band. They have every year they have a fucking top 10 though.
Oh yeah.
Somehow they just keep doing it.
Well, because all those chicks won't let it go.
Right? I guess they're still hot.
Oh, man.
I still got.
All these years
I still have a half a bottle of Aquanet.
Oh my god. So you're going through the years. You're basically producing Smashing Pumpkins with Butch Vig. I mean, that's fucking pretty goddamn massive.
It was weird. Like it's like at the time though, it was just a demo, or what? It was just a thing, and it kept.
I mean, you developed that into a
sound
career.
was a trip too, Well, I think the cool thing about all of that is the big sound thing that came out of it was Catherine, who's my old band.
Jerome said it was his band.
Drum started the band. It was Drum's band. He started it with they used to. It was I replaced a drum machine. I thought I was never good enough. They liked it, so they let me in. But it was one of those things, kind of like, what do you do? I'm in a band. It's band Catherine. What do you play? Drums. Like, oh, we need a drummer. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, you're in. It was at a party. Like they never heard me play.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't even have a fucking drum kit. So like,
I played with several bands, but I never had a kit.
I pieced the shit together. It was so fucked up, but it worked somehow, and we turned it into a band that got signed. But there were 3 guitar players in Catherine, and all 3 used a Big Muff distortion pedal. A lot.
Yeah, I know.
Like when it kicked in,
that's one Big Muff.
And we'd like quiet to that.
No razors in this band.
We used to share a rehearsal space with the Smashing Pumpkins, and Billy at one point was just living there mostly. And he came into Catherine practice and he heard all 3 guitars with the Big Muffs on. He's like, "What is that sound?" And that's the Big Muff, And that led to the big difference. If you listen to those Pumpkins records, Gizz is a rockin' record.
Absolutely.
But Siamese Dream is like a guitar tone different changer at that time. It popped out like Boston did at the time when Boston came out.
Yeah.
Like it was just sounded different, And it was all those Big Muffs layered to sound like Catherine, our band. Like years later, he talked about it and the whole thing. He's like, yeah, that record, like those fucking things were $30. Like they were so cheap at the used pawn shop or whatever. No one wanted them because they had run their course in the 70s.
Right.
The 80s, everybody wanted this other sound. Whatever 80 guitar tones sounded like.
Well, that was the
they didn't sound like 70s rock, It was
the Supra, that red Supra pedal was that 80s distortion sound.
Jazz chorus and all that stuff. They used on those records, a lot of those records. And those things, when he did an interview in like Guitar Player or whatever magazine or one of those guitar magazines, they were talking about the guitar tone. And he's like, yeah, he used this thing called Big Muff. And it went like, those things were like $350.
Yeah. Overnight.
They sold out. Like, like we went into a guitar place and the guy was like, hey, you're the reason we have can't get them anymore. Yeah. But man, we made a killing when you did that thing. It was like everybody
bought them for 30 and sold them for 350.
I think he might have even talked about it was this certain one, like Sovtek ones came out. You ever
Mm.
see those? They're like made out of from like Russia, that old tank parts or something. like, they're fucking. They're like you couldn't fuck them. You could pour beer on them, you could stomp them, and they keep working. They're like indestructible. The Big Muff Pie one, they were like, if you spill a little liquid, it would get in.
You sneeze on it.
They were like
drool,
hanging.
sweat.
Right. But the one that's on the records, the Pumpkins records and the Catherine records, the Big Muff Pie, the electro harmonics one, those things they are cool.
So as all this is going on, you're actually kind of changing your career, right? I mean, you're becoming more of a producer.
Yeah, I don't play. I mean, I rarely play ever. It's nice when I do, just jam. Here at the place, we have it all. We have a little jam sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Drum and they were jamming the other day. That sounded good.
So going into like producer land.
So I went into producing and got Darcy and I were long separated with my amazing wife, Stacy Scher. We have 2 kids.
She's awesome.
Yeah, that's who you should be. If you want to star, you should be interviewing her. Her career is insane.
Well,
it was wild. We have a bunch of things that we were doing at the time. She was one of the producers of Pulp Fiction and Reality Bites and tons of Aaron Brockovich, Django Unchained. I mean, she's in my personal opinion, the best producer in the history of cinema.
Oh,
from like Garden State, she hit all of these different moments that hit the zeitgeist repetitively, but every one of those films were different than every other film.
Yeah,
they were hard to get made. No one wanted to make Pulp Fiction. No, the Reservoir Dogs led to Pulp Fiction, but no one wanted to make Aaron Brockovich of all movies.
Of course.
They're like, how do we want to make a movie about that?
Yeah, I want to get
about
blacklisted.
someone fighting a power company,
Let's get blacklisted. This is fun.
But it became monster. Got nominated for Academy Award.
Yeah.
Her career inspires me every day. And she's got more platinum records than I have because she made all those huge soundtracks.
Right.
Like all those films back, soundtracks used to sell like crazy.
Yeah.
Like
compilations and soundtracks.
Huge. The first Pumpkins platinum record was the soundtrack to that movie Singles.
Yep.
And it was that song Drowned, and that was a huge Screaming Trees on it.
Oh, Screaming Trees.
I mean, yeah, Mark versus Soul. That band was.
You got to hang out with all these guys.
I produced Mark and Lanigan with a lot through Greg Dooley from the Afghan Wigs. I worked on a lot of his records. Yeah. I'm partly sore right now because I've been doing a lot of physical work at the record pressing plant that we have.
Yeah.
But also, I decided to go golfing yesterday. So I was like Home Depot at 7 a.m. And then I'm at Wilson with Greg Dooley teeing off at
I would so enjoy the shit out of that.
I got I gotta tell you, I hadn't hit for a minute. I was like a little rusty on the first 3, but one fucking shot of my life, like literally, and they were all looking. They didn't have the phone out, so it's just a memory. but Greg and my friend Alex, they're just watching, and I'm pretty far away, right? Like from
100-yard.
No. I'm like, it's like I got to hit this for the par, and I'm pretty far from the green, probably another 20. There's no way I'm going to chip it in.
Right.
I fucking chipped it in.
So full swing.
It was like literally, and you could see it. We all saw it. The second it hit,
it was at
the green, and it was far away. It was like, that's fucking good to go in. Like when it hit like that, it was like, it was a clear laser beam to the fucking cut. And they saw it too. They're like, that's fucking good to go in. And we watched it. It fucking went in. And then I smoked a little herb, and I got really good. So golfer's choice. I called just at the right time. What's your golf? It was just stuff. I don't know. It's like the perfect blend.
Golf blend.
Right? Golf blend. Legalize it. It's not legal in Miami. They gotta fucking do that. I'm in Florida
What?
now too.
Yeah, you got a press, and you got 3 presses in Florida.
They got to do something about. Yeah, it's it used to be called Final Vinyl.
Okay.
It was Studio One owned it,
Oh,
which
wow.
did all, you know, that history is
Sure.
great with like reggae and dancehall and all of that. You know, they pressed like a lot of stuff out of Jamaica that Joe Gibbs was part of that went for America because it was like first stop Miami, press it there and then distribute out for North America.
Mm-hmm.
So throughout the chain of crazy events, ended up buying it, and
With your
we're
money?
making a lot of records out of Miami.
Okay.
And it's part of Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm in Miami a lot, and that's where they do need to legalize it.
Andale way.
Yeah, it's like a medicinal that
Doctor's card.
scam or whatever. You gotta go see a doctor.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I'm
wearing
a
flip flops.
doctor.
you got a back pain.
I got a week back. How long have you had that?
Exactly.
About a week back.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty good, finally.
I think probably weed will help for that.
Yeah.
Let me write you a prescription. I think that'll be 150 or whatever. Yeah.
You've got a studio in Maui, right?
I do have a studio,
And it's
It's
from what I've heard,
off-grid.
it's
It's
all
off-grid.
solar.
it's amazing.
I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
Give me the quick rundown on like a complete solar off-grid studio.
Right.
What's that
So
like?
ended up through a chain of events. My wife and I bought 20 acres off-grid North Shore Maui. That is a farm that had buildings on it, and one. It's just like you see it. It's just like crazy. They must have brought the redwood in from California.
Yeah.
You know, it was nothing that was growing on the islands, and it was these super long redwood beams, like massive. And it's Asian style, so it goes way up almost like a like a four-sided triangle. Like everything goes up perfect.
Like a
With a
pyramid.
little skylight at the top, and it's all wood, right? And wood usually sounds great. And it's like there's nothing. It's not square because the tops usually don't sound good if your reflective sound waves keep it in a square. I just look at it. I'm like, this is gonna sound great. My wife's like, don't even fucking think about it. Like every place we go to, you turn. It's like you see it. I see it as a house. You see it as a recording studio.
Yeah.
Like she's like, no, and like it just so I figured out a way to do it where it's like when the family comes at Christmas time, the gear's all in a road case out the back door, pop down the Murphy bed and all that. Yeah. Cover the window in the studio with the curtains. It's like that. My wife always she can't like, don't you like the treatment on the wall? You know, the curtain treatment. She's like, yeah, but why do we have a curtain on our wall? You got a fucking window in there? Nope. Damn.
She's awesome, by the way. The first time I met her, I'm like, he just had surgery. I'm like, and similar to what I had, I'm like, stop doing shit. And she's like, I keep fucking telling him. I'm like, oh, just call me. I'll punch him in the fucking mouth.
Well, look at this place. It turned into a fucking studio.
Oh, God. Dude, everything.
He's looking at it now.
He's laughing as hard
You guys
as
are
I was.
fucked.
I'm like,
I can make this into an outhouse.
So, who have you recorded?
the studio's over there.
You're building a studio here.
Yeah, this is
He's building a sound
the
room here.
facilities.
I think I saw that in the corner over there, right? Yeah.
Poopstudio.com.
Poop studio.
So who have
Mostly
you recorded in
now-
Maui now?
That was awesome. So the last thing I recorded there was Gretchen Rhodes, who's an amazing vocalist. She's been singing in Mick Fleetwood's Maui band for 18 years.
Oh shit.
And is a powerhouse vocalist. Sings a lot of people. There's a lot of musicians on Maui, you know, that live there. Like Mick's a full-time resident in Maui. His like kids go to public school there or whatever. And through this chain of events, like ended up recording Mick Fleetwood with Carmine Rojas on bass, who's amazing bassist, Bowie's bass player, Rod Stewart's musical director for all these years. A bunch of great Maui musicians that play with Mick, and we did Peter Green songs. So we did Black Magic Woman, we did Oh Well, Rattlesnake Shake, which is a song about taking a yeah. And
Yep.
So these songs are typically not sung by women. As far as we know, there's no covers out there.
Right on.
Especially that song. And it totally fucking rocks. And we did it live.
Oh, really?
We have it out on vinyl. You can get it at licoricepizzarecords.com or come into the record store.
There you go.
But it's an amazing sounding record, all live. And we pressed it right here next door.
Next to the other corner.
On the other side. Yeah.
So I do want to hear about this Generation X story that you had.
Oh, yeah. So, we have a record store on Ventura Boulevard in Laurel. It's a block west of Laurel Canyon. I call it every Tom Petty song ever.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, I don't know why, but
that's a great call.
Like that.
That's the corner.
That's that corner. And, it's all these years, like Licorice Pizza has meant so much to me. That's a backstory that we didn't get into, but Licorice Pizza is where I grew up as a kid here in the record stores here. They were founded by my good friend Jimmy Greenwood. And I lived in store 20. It's when I learned about imports and punk rock music. And my first girlfriend worked there, met my first band there. It was like people like me went there, And I happen to know through history, now that I own Licorice Pizza, Billy Idol and Generation X, Billy did his in-store signing their original Licorice Pizza since 1978. And just last week did a whole thing, a bit promoting his record that came out on Friday. He came in, he was a cashier at Licorice Pizza. And it was a duet with Avril Lavigne. She came in, she was shoplifter. And they did this whole skit. It was like funny as shit. And I'm like, I can't believe Billy Idol is in Licorice Pizza. I wonder if he'll remember even doing that because it was so long ago. I know it was in 1978 from the history of the internet.
Right.
And there's photos and everything. So after it's all done, we're talking about it. I go, you probably want to remember this. And he's like, it was April 1978. All the punks knew Licorice Pizza would let you in. We knew that in the UK. So when we came, we had to do our in-store at Licorice Pizza. I'm like, fuck. He remembered the month. You know what I mean? Like,
couldn't remember the day. Fucking cunt.
Oh,
right? Well, no, yeah.
I'm gonna pay Billy Idol to beat you up now.
Next Regent show.
Yeah. That was just a cool moment, like a full circle type thing. And he crushes it, man. That guy's so fucking rocks.
He's fucking awesome.
Like,
I mean, like I said, I was standing behind him and people were like, that's some poser. I'm like, that's fucking Billy Idol. And he turned around, he's like, eh. Like, yeah, I know, me too. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, dude. Like, James, Pat. What's your fondest like memory of like music being at a show? Somebody like some people you've been around, like dig something out of the past or even the close future or the close past.
So many. I remember like crazy moments. I remember I saw Devo. I don't know why. This just was funny to me. It made me think. I like shows that make me think. Like afterwards, I still think about them. Some can be because they're so weird as fuck. Like I saw the Residents. Do you remember the Residents?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I saw them at the Roxy, but I had a weird side view and I saw the guy's face through the back of the eyeball. And it fucking freaked me out. Like I ruined the surprise, So that was a bad moment, but I'll remember it forever. But I saw through the eyeball and it wasn't pretty.
No,
whatever. Like, but the Replacements so bad they couldn't fucking finish the song.
at the whiskey.
And I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they couldn't
Orange
fucking
jumpsuits, shaved heads.
They couldn't fucking finish the song.
No.
And they were just so because the records were so great, but you wanted to get that.
No.
But it was a little too drunk,
A little.
So, but I remember those moments still to this day. There's a lot of shows I probably could go try to figure them out, the memory, but those I remember, and a lot of them were like I applied later, I guess, to when I was on stage in a band. Like, don't do that,
Yeah.
or whatever.
I still haven't learned that one.
I remember, like this one was just a weird one, like Psychedelic Furs at Santa Monica Civic. Somehow got front row seats, but it was like folding chairs, and I used to put all the folding chairs together. And the first came out, we all stood on the folding chairs. And they all fucking fell over, and the whole thing went down. And it went dominoes back. You know, I remember that clear.
Yeah.
Then I ended up forming a company years later with Mars Williams, the guy that played sax in that band.
Oh, you mean Sex Whistle?
No, psychedelic first.
Yeah, Sex Whistle. It's that saxophone.
Yeah, saxophone. He was also in the Waitresses.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, of all things, and they both had those crazy sax moments. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the weirdest part about that Devo show?
Devo show was they were great. They all played on treadmills, and Mark Mothersbaugh the whole time. And Mark Mothersbaugh said, like, "Come out," and they're just rocking, and the whole time they're on treadmills. They didn't stop. The drums weren't on treadmills, but they were across the front were on treadmills. And he's like, "We just want you to know that we're as good as the Rolling Stones, but we don't have as many songs. So we're going to only play for 45 minutes, but we're going to do the work of a 3-hour set." Sticks with me for life.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's the worst show you ever saw? Other than the Replacements?
I mean,
Or played?
God. Probably one we were touring with Hole,
Yeah.
Catherine.
Enough said.
That's all we need here.
Thank you, good night. You know.
Thank you.
You
and
know
good
how
night.
it is. That was that one.
We're showing one word. What would it be? Hole.
Courtney Hole,
Love you, Court.
maybe.
Yeah, but it was one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just a disaster.
It was B markets too, like that. You know, when you're touring, like there's the A markets, and then there's the
B
B
market.
markets, like the other places in Florida that are Fort Lauderdale, like Fort Myers or whatever, and it starts getting like
Fort something else.
It starts
Where you get the Monday, Tuesday
getting
shows.
heavy. The rock. It gets heavy. Like Florida heavy rock.
Oh, really?
Well, there's 1,000 bands from Florida that everybody in Florida knows about. You never fucking heard of them.
Fuck no.
They all have the exact same logo, just slightly different.
One letter change.
Yeah,
Has an umlaut.
like wormwood. Exactly. It looks cool. Fucking sounds heavy.
I don't think I know a single band from Florida that I can think of off the top of my head.
Do you know, like all that? Like,
Against Me.
Conformity and those type of, like that.
CLC's from Florida?
Like Rob lives there, the guitar, it's like that type of whole group is
Yeah.
there. There's a lot of them. And then
Against
some
Me.
of the musicians, there's a heavy scene there. They all fucking work at my pressing plant there. They go
Minimum
heavy.
wage.
They're like, well, I'm like, you go heavy. They
Minimum,
shred some of them, but it's like, it's like,
oh,
I don't know.
minimum
That
wage records.
precision, like,
Marilyn Manson is considered a Florida band.
No shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
actually, funny
Brian,
that you mentioned that.
Nuclear
No,
Valdez.
but it's funny that you mentioned that. Marilyn Manson
he works for
was
minimum wage,
at
too.
that fucking whole show.
No
It was in
shit.
Florida.
There you go.
That's all I gotta say.
Oh man,
Sticks.
But he was like,
suck.
he sticks.
Foreigner. Night Ranger. Flock
Dude.
of Seagulls. 38 Special.
30 Special's us.
Flock of seagulls.
Blackfoot. Molly Hatchet.
I love Molly Hatchet.
Leonard Skinner.
I thought they were from Alabama.
Florida.
Where's Tom Petty from?
Tom Petty's from here.
Tom Petty, yeah.
No, you think that he is.
The Molly
Look
Ringwalds.
up where Tom Petty's from. You think he's from here?
Well, I mean, I know he lived in a trailer for 12 years fighting the record companies.
Like everybody thinks Tom Petty's from here. It's like because he's
if I had to,
writes about here
if I had to
better
guess,
than anybody.
I would say from St. Louis or somewhere.
Gainesville, Florida.
Fucking shit.
Florida, Bell.
I'm moving the show to Florida.
There's something in the water.
Gainesville had a lot of really good bands.
Yeah. Fuck.
But you think about Tom Petty's from here. I did forever
That's insane.
until recently. And I was like, there's a documentary. I'm like, oh fuck, I guess I did. He's just became California.
Oh, yeah.
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 Oh,
You know?
fuck, that's what
Yeah.
he wrote about.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
He
right?
never wrote about Florida.
That band
Wow.
was so good.
The
The Heartbreakers, that band.
Oh my
was
god,
so
yeah,
good.
they're tight
fucking
as fuck,
good.
dude.
and somehow he got nobody fucking did. Like, you could be in any kind of music. You didn't fuck with Tom Petty.
No.
Well,
he
yeah,
did.
he was the
when
guy
they-
behind the whole
it's-
royalties thing, right?
Especially when they went traveling Wilburys. Man.
Oh, man.
That kind of fucking
Tom
super
Petty
glue.
sued the record companies, living in a
Yeah,
trailer for
right.
12 years. Like
Yeah.
he was the one that got all the musicians like power.
Yeah.
You know, like that. I mean, he's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Which Lars could have done for Metallica for streaming.
But he's a dick.
Yep.
And nobody likes that fucker. Put some
Because of
shoes
that.
on, Lars.
Get a haircut. Oh, too late.
Dude. Okay, what's your favorite band and your least favorite band?
It's my favorite question.
My favorite band.
Well, I mean, like if you were on a desert island and you had one album,
It's so hard though. Like, I mean,
of course.
I thought you were going to show me a tattoo. I was like,
Yeah,
no, hole. You get shot
Drop
there?
Kick Murphy.
Drop.
I actually like Rocky.
No, I don't think it would be my desert island, but
No.
maybe.
I mean, what is the most dynamic album you could listen to over and over and over again?
Yeah.
It's gotta be Rush.
I mean, I could, if I had to take one band, how about we do that?
All right, one band.
I'd take Zeppelin.
Oh yeah.
I just fucking,
Oh, look at the time.
I what's your least favorite? Like the one thing you would veto the fuck off the island right now.
Led Zeppelin.
Oh,
Oh, you're
yeah.
not asking me.
probably Zeppelin.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
Right?
Favorite band, Led Zeppelin.
Least favorite band,
Led Zeppelin. That's fucking
I think we're
badass. Yeah, dude. You're not gonna get better than that.
I think we have- you gotta know when to drop
Brilliant.
the mic.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm done. Questions now. That was it. That's badass. That is gonna be my answer from now on.
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite band? Led Zeppelin. You said you didn't like them.
Also
Oh,
Led
my
Zeppelin.
God. Oh, shit.
What do you think about the current state of music? Like the things that are coming out now are a little. There's a really big disparity between like rock and roll and organic music and whatever the fuck else is going on.
Yeah, I know. But at a street level, kids are doing it. That's
Yeah.
what's cool. Like kids that work at the record store, they're in punk bands.
They're all
Mhm.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
mean-
like, and now they can make a record.
At home.
You know, I mean, they can record it at home, and we could press 100 vinyl records.
Yeah.
You know, and you could sell them and make. You have a little following.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably make your money back and keep your gas money. Like people want to buy, I think, vinyl more than t-shirts now.
Yeah.
And they're listening to it. It's not
At
like they're buying
every
it.
show that we did on tour, we were selling more vinyl than
Right.
t-shirts. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only shirts that we were actually selling were the ones with the vinyl cover on it.
Yeah. Because sure, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, well, I don't know if I like that design. But record, you're gonna buy it.
Mhm.
Hopefully the band's gonna sign it. You're gonna listen to it.
Mhm.
We got a producer question over
I have a
here.
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever pressed into the vinyl?
I know. I haven't done. I mean, there's one of the guys. The weirdest thing was a fucking screw, and he fucked up my mold, and that's about $7,000. You know, because it's like you're done with that.
Yeah.
Because it's the way. Have you seen the molds? And
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So there's the molds, and then there's the stampers, but dyes molds, right? And those have to be perfectly smooth. And, they can't be fucked up at all because the stamper sits on that, and if they're fucked up, then they'll have dimples. And
Yeah.
it won't work right. One of these guys,
How do you get
he
screw
looked the
in
fucking
there?
wrong way, and like he didn't see the screw that somehow fell the fuck in there,
Oh,
or came.
I ate this magnet. I'm sorry.
Magic land. I don't know. Like what the fuck, and it just that's the weirdest thing. I've only really I haven't pressed like outside of just cool colors anything in vinyl. There's companies that do it though. They put all kinds of shit in there.
There-
It's liquids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gluing,
I just
it's
saw.
two records that
Yeah.
they're gluing together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miller's got a beer infused record. I
Yeah.
Macedon did a blood thing.
Yeah.
I actually got one of the weirdest phone calls I've ever had. Is I was here and Ryan called me. He goes, "Hey, are you here?" I go, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, I got my finger stuck in the machine." I'm like, "Fuck, what?"
No
And
way.
I go run back there. I'm like, "Okay, what?" And it was just the felt thing that's off the thing. I'm like, "Okay, what do you want me to do?" He's like, "Well, you want to press that button." I'm like, "Okay, this button, and I
Did he
don't.
call you?
He had his phone in his pocket.
Siri called.
He had one fucking finger in there, and I'm like, okay, that button. Is there anything? I was like, no. I'm like, okay, just so we're clear, that button only.
Let me take a picture.
Yeah.
That one.
Circle it with the pin tool.
Exactly. One more time. That one.
Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'll take 10 minutes to research this
Yeah.
on Google. I'll be right back. Make
Exactly.
sure it is the right button.
So the press you have in the back, that's a steam powered
That's
model.
that's an SMT 1500. You're not gonna believe what records were pressed on it.
Tell me.
I will.
No, you won't.
Zeppelin records.
God damn it.
Zeppelin records were made on that machine. Also, New Order.
That specific machine?
That specific one. Yeah, it came out of a place called Bill Smith that did the.
Bill, no way.
Oh, you know the place?
Yeah,
yeah.
he produced the first Lazlo 7-inch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Bill
what that
Smith,
machine
yeah.
came out of. Yeah,
Fuck
That was
yeah.
probably pressed on that machine.
Yeah.
probably.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
maybe. Yeah. I love those SMTs. They're great.
And what
They're
about
low
the
profile? The other ones I have in Miami are great too. They're better for making the splatter, the
Yeah.
color splatters easier. Each one machine's got its like best part, and then because now everybody wants color and
Mhm.
splatter and swirl, and
Yeah.
we do a lot of that. A lot of cool.
the
like,
Japanese
gold
breakfast
flake and
album was gorgeous.
Yeah, that one that
Yeah.
came out really cool. We're doing like a Dr. Pepper one right now that like somehow has become super collectible, sold out instantly.
Dr.
But people, Dr. Pepper, blueberry,
What the fuck's on it?
sounds of succulent soundtrack on vinyl is a hot ticket.
Oh my god. Oh, I need a copy. It's gonna sound
I know,
horrible.
now I do too, because I love Dr. Pepper. I'd rather have that than the fucking Zeppelin record.
Yeah.
But it's easier. There's no way you're getting that Dr. Pepper one. It's so fucking collectible. Like
No shit. I mean, I'll get one.
we'll find a way. But yeah,
I can knock Ryan out right there.
it's etched on the back too.
Oh,
Have you
really?
seen that? You've seen that vinyl that's etched
Yeah.
on the back. So
Yeah.
when the stamper, a lot of people, they're like, well, I don't have enough songs for two sides.
Yeah.
Right.
Buy enough sides. Like I put an EP or a few
Yeah.
songs on one side. On the back, etch their logo.
Yeah.
You ever done?
I
any of those?
have
Yeah.
Bad Religion.
Okay. Yeah.
One
yeah.
that has 2 songs on side A and then it's etched on side
Yeah.
B.
So we've been getting a lot of those lately. They're cool,
Uh,
especially if you get the right etching.
yeah.
Like people do them on color, but they really work best on black.
I know our
You
label
get it
would
on
never do
black,
that.
It looks almost like a holographic
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I've never asked this question because I never thought about it, but
Don't think much.
what are the fucking the pictured vinyl,
Yeah, picture this.
picture discs?
Yeah.
Yeah. How the fuck did they do that?
It's like a picture. It's like putting stuff in the vinyl. Erica, there's this place here called Erica. You ever heard of
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
They specialize in the picture disc.
Ah.
That's like when they went there, it's like they became the picture disc people.
Hmm.
So
I
when
have
I get pictures-
several picture discs. Wasp.
Right. They don't sound good.
Wasp?
Yeah.
They're
the
just
fuck
they're
is wrong with
literally
you?
for looking at.
Yeah.
They don't sound.
But you
It's
can
a-
you
it's
can
a-
play.
Yeah, you can. but-
I have
You
a
can-
come as you are.
You can
actual
play them,
picture disc.
but they're just a little
Yeah.
lower fidelity.
Well,
They're
based
not
on-
known for their sound.
I want to get
I've
one.
heard some that sound okay.
I want to get a Led Zeppelin picture disc so I can do some like, on it.
So you cannot listen to that one
Yeah.
too. Yeah. It's weird. Zeppelin will do that to you. Like it's its own pain, right?
Yeah.
But,
It is
but,
painful.
but like there's a reason.
Look, if Zeppelin didn't have Robert Plant involved, I think they would have been one of the greatest bands of all time.
They were instrumental or had a different singer. I think. I
I
love them.
Jude, Paul.
I love their music. I
singer,
can't stand the vocals.
Bad Company. Paul Rogers.
No.
If he sang for Zeppelin, they'd be the greatest band in the history of the world. In
Like
fact,
if Stevie Nicks sang for him, I'd like him.
well,
Like this is how much I can get through a Led Zeppelin. Like as soon as you put the needle down, and you hear that, and
Have you-
right before the music starts, it's like okay.
have you
I don't
ever?
know.
That's called the dead wax.
Dead
Yeah.
Wax, really?
That area, yeah. That's the name of it.
I've
So,
been
yeah.
learning stuff
Yeah.
like reading and writing.
Numbers.
Yeah, I like numbers.
Here's number one. And here's number two. So you have any social media where people can contact you to get records?
Yeah, so
then?
Licorice Pizza Records is the Instagram.
Okay.
And Facebook and that. Is Studio Dog is mine. Like whatever. Same shit.
And do you still produce bands here and there?
Not
Or?
really.
No,
I did
done with
one.
it?
I did this. There's this actress named Sophie Thatcher, and she was in this movie Heretic, which we pressed the vinyl for, which was beautiful. I don't know if you saw that one. That's the blueberry pie one.
I don't think I saw that.
It's really nice. It's like gatefold die cut.
Brian doesn't show me stuff.
And it's mostly the score, but there's a couple songs on it. And I was asked to produce the end title. It was a cover of Heaven's Door, but we didn't 6/8. We got the permission to do the song, the publishing part. But they wanted the end title and do it in 6/8. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd never heard it before. I just was like, man, let's fuck it up. And I produced that. That was probably the last thing I did. She's cool. Her band's cool. Look her up too. Sophie Thatcher.
Sophie Thatcher.
Yeah.
I definitely will have to look.
So, I mean, you're building a studio here. Are you looking to actually do production here a little bit?
This will be, I want to teach kids how to work
Not
in the analog world. I think it's super important.
Yeah.
Like I'm really seeing the disconnect right now of just even doing anything with their hands, honestly.
I
From
agree.
a tool to turning a screwdriver to,
Yeah.
There's some kind of decades that I guess that just didn't, when dad stopped having tools at the house and
The
you
shop
just
class
call
is going
everybody to
away.
fix things, and
Yeah.
then everything became a computer you couldn't fix. So guys,
Same with like cars.
all of it, right?
Fuck.
So I think probably all grew up the best time. Like I had
Absolutely.
auto shop,
Mm-hmm.
I had metal shop,
Mm-hmm.
I had wood shop,
Wood shop.
fucking all of it. Every, ceramics, all kinds of like everything
even,
was
even
like
home ec.
I fucking
Yeah.
love those.
Learning how to sew.
Yeah,
Like
So-
lost art.
I would actually
In fact, those
I
are
would
the
love to
only
collaborate. and-
things I did good in high school. Those shops, I hated high school.
Oh, me too.
I hated my
Didn't fuck-
teachers.
Because you didn't go to high school.
I
History.
remember this one time, like I went
History.
to Tustin High School,
Math.
right? And the history teacher was also part-time Tustin cop. And like day one, he's like, "Hey, my name's fucking Officer." He said he was. He's like, "And I'm also your teacher."
Hmm.
He's like, and he said, "And don't even try coming here on drugs because I'll know."
Challenge taken,
I'm
dude.
fucking- I'm like,
prove it.
I'm sitting there with Kenny Timmering, who is. I'm now living at Kenny's house, and together we're selling acid. He didn't know. We had it on us, and we were tripping balls, and he's like, didn't even fucking know.
all cops are bottoms.
Oh my god.
That's Pablo Cazador. Paul, you know you are.
It's gonna be a shirt tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah, I would love to
It was a
collaborate.
different time.
I like that idea of like teaching kids to actually
People
do
would get
shit.
pulled over for drinking, and just the cops would pour it out too, and just say, "Get home."
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a
seat belts.
weed confiscation. Like you can't have that in here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let me see that. Just get home.
I mean, backyard punk
I'm
shows.
going to confiscate that.
Backyard punk
I'm
shows.
not going to
Right?
give you a ticket this time.
How I learned to be kind of a spy because you would like watch the windows of the houses that you're around, and you could see the lights coming before the sirens came on. So I'd be able to fence before anybody else.
Yeah, I had a buddy who he had that instinct, man. He'd just go, "Oh shit!" And
Yeah, Leo?
oh no, my buddy Carl. And as soon as I heard, "Oh shit," just follow the voice, and 5
Yeah.
minutes later,
Remember
man.
Tie Stick?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever happened to Tie Stick?
Well, what happened to lids?
We have me that right there. Speaking of Tie Stick.
Oh, well, we can't smoke it in here, but
I
yeah.
know, but I'm going to hold it in my mouth like Snoop Dogg.
All right. Well, I think that's getting close to the end
This
of
is where
our
the
time.
credits roll.
This is where the credits roll.
I might go smoke a joint with Kerry Brown from liquorspreadsrecords.com.
Well, that was fun. Talked
Uh,
a lot. A lot of Zeppelin.
Kerry Zeppelin Brown.
Oh, that's a douchey name.
Yeah, I know.
Zeppelin 2.
Oh,
Oh God. Damn it. What's your favorite Zeppelin album?
Forget.
Fuck, come on.
Yeah. No. Oh,
Physical graffiti.
well, sponsors once more.
Oh yeah, sponsors,
Dude.
man. Our sponsors, man. That already got me high just by watching
I
it,
know.
man.
I'm a little buzzed. Right now.
Fucking Headline Records, Transplant Brewing, MEOWZ, and Riot Manufacturing.
And Liquor's Pizza now.
Yeah. Why not?
Website's coming soon, I heard.
Yeah.
Okay, that means
Fucking, there's our outro.
I gotta go. All right.
All right.
That's our outro right there.
See you guys later.
I'm heading home right now.
Wow.